fucking hit me, you owe me a blunt. Damn!
Fuck.
Let's talk about it first.
Talk about what? That was an accident, right?
He was in the middle of the road. It wasn't an accident.
Get out of here. All right?
No!
Ava!
I think we should all agree on that before we part ways.
Yeah,
Yeah. What about you, Ava?
I won't tell anyone.
Ava returns home to Southport, North Carolina, for her best friend Danica's engagement party. She reconnects with Danica, Milo, her old high school crush, and Teddy, Danica's fiancé. The four have been friends since high school, though time and distance have pulled them apart. At the party, Danica encourages Ava to talk with Milo again, hinting at their past relationship. Later, the group decides to take a drive to watch the 4th of July fireworks. Along the way, they invite Stevie, another old friend whose life has been difficult since her father abandoned her and took her college money. The group drives toward the hills. Teddy, drinking and joking, steps recklessly into the road, nearly causing a car to hit him. Milo pulls him to safety, but another vehicle swerves to avoid the group and loses control. It crashes through the guardrail, leaving the driver trapped as the truck hangs dangerously over the edge. The friends rush to help, but despite their efforts, the vehicle plunges off the cliff, killing the driver. Panic sets in. Ava insists they should help or call for aid, but Teddy calls his father instead, assuring the group that everything will be handled. He convinces them to leave before the police arrive. The friends reluctantly agree, swearing to keep the incident a secret. 1 year later, Ava returns to Southport for Danica's bridal shower, where old tensions still linger beneath the surface. At Danica's bridal shower, she opens gifts in front of her friends and family. Among the packages, she finds a plain envelope. Inside is a single piece of paper with the words, "I know what you did last summer." Danica hides her fear, but later pulls Ava, Milo, and Stevie aside to show them the note. She suspects Teddy, believing he might be bitter after their breakup and trying to torment her. The others aren't convinced, but they agree to confront him. At the marina, they find Teddy on his yacht. When shown the letter, he angrily denies writing. He insists he wants nothing to do with them and orders them to leave. That night, Danica returns home with her new fiancé, Wyatt. She takes a bath upstairs, listening to music through headphones. Wyatt stays downstairs, where he notices strange lights flickering near the pool. When he investigates, he is ambushed. A figure dressed in a black fisherman's slicker appears, armed with a large hook. Wyatt is struck with arrows before being finished off by the killer's weapon. Upstairs, Danica remains unaware. When she comes down later, she finds Wyatt's lifeless body hanging, with a message written nearby: "You can't erase the past." The police arrive at Danica's home. Teddy's influential father, Grant, promises her that he will speak with the chief of police to ensure her safety. Ava stays with Danica overnight to comfort her. The next morning, the friends gather to discuss Wyatt's murder. They believe it cannot be a coincidence, especially since Danica received the threatening note the same day. None of them admits to telling anyone about the accident last summer, leaving them shaken by how someone could know. Ava recalls a girl she met on the plane named Tyler, who hosts a podcast about crime and murders. Danica checks her channel and finds an episode where Tyler talks about a fisherman killer who terrorized teens in 1997. That case had also begun with a note that read, "I know what you did last summer." The similarity alarms them. Suspicion grows that Tyler may know too much, or could even be the killer. Despite their doubts, Ava decides to meet her. Tyler takes Ava to the Bayside house, a location connected to the murders from 1997. Inside, Tyler explains the history of the killings and mentions that 2 survivors, Julie and Ray, are still alive. As Ava listens, the fisherman killer suddenly appears. Ava fights back, managing to wound him and hide, but is eventually trapped inside a cage. Tyler tries to escape using a manual lift, but is caught. The killer slaughters her with the hook and leaves her body hanging publicly outside for all to see. After Tyler's death, the friends realize they cannot rely on the police. Grant has influence over the department, and every report they make is dismissed or redirected. Ava decides to search for help outside the town. She visits Hoffman University, where Julie James, one of the survivors of the 1997 killings, now teaches. Ava explains what has been happening: the note, Wyatt's murder, and the attack by a fisherman killer. Julie listens, then warns her that the killer must be connected to the boy who died in their accident, Sam Cooper. She tells Ava the only way to survive is to find the killer before he finds. Back in Southport, a town meeting is held. Grant and the police chief assure everyone that Tyler's death was a suicide and claim the community is safe. Ava and Milo protest, pointing out Wyatt's murder and Ava's own encounter with the killer. Tension grows when Ray, the other survivor from 1997, steps forward. He urges the town to listen to the warnings, insisting that history is repeating itself. Meanwhile, the group privately confides in Ray at his bar. He advises them to uncover the truth about Sam Cooper. He explains the only way to start is to locate the truck from the accident. At the impound lot, Ava pretends the vehicle belonged to her brother. With this lie, they gain access to the records and discover the truck was registered to Pastor Judah, a local religious leader. At the same time, Danica and Teddy visit the cemetery. They find Sam Cooper's grave, where fresh flowers have been placed. When a caretaker goes to check surveillance footage, the killer strikes, murdering. Danica is left alone and is soon attacked, but Teddy intervenes. The killer escapes into the shadows. Later that night, the friends agree to stay together at Danica's house for safety. Danica and Teddy share a room, while Ava and Milo take the guest room. As they settle in, Ava and Milo grow close and nearly become intimate. But Milo becomes uneasy, pulling away before leaving to get his phone charger from the car. Outside, he is ambushed by the fisherman killer. A rope is thrown around his neck and pulled tight. Despite struggling, Milo is strangled to death. Moments later, Ava looks out the window and sees Milo's car driving away. She receives a message from his phone saying he just needs time. Believing he has left her, Ava breaks down in tears, unaware that Milo has already been killed. The next day, Ava and Danica visit Pastor Judah's church. While Ava distracts him, Danica sneaks into his office. She finds a photograph of Judah with Sam Cooper, confirming their connection. Danica hides before Judah returns, then quickly leaves. The girls rush to the police to report what they found, but the chief calls Grant, who orders them locked up overnight. Meanwhile, Teddy is attacked at home. He puts up a fight, but is overpowered. His father, Grant, discovers him bleeding outside, but before he can react, both Teddy and Grant are murdered by the killer. The next morning, the town awakens to a gruesome sight. The bodies of Teddy and Grant displayed, hanging like trophies at the harbor. The horrifying deaths of Teddy and Grant shake the entire town. At the harbor, Ava, Danica, and Stevie are devastated when they also discover Milo's body inside his car. Overcome with grief, Ava can barely stand. Stevie urges the girls to leave immediately. They board a boat to escape Southport, but the killer is already with them. He attacks, targeting Danica, who barely manages to fight back. The hood is pulled away, revealing the killer to be Stevie. She explains everything. The man who died in the truck accident was Sam Cooper. He was the only person who had supported her when her life collapsed, the one who helped her recover after her father abandoned her and she fell into addiction. On the night of the accident, Sam had been driving to find her. When he died, she lost the only person who gave her strength. Stevie reveals that she killed Pastor Judah because he took money from Grant to cover up Sam's death. She says she wanted to end her own life, but instead decided to make them pay for taking Sam away. Each murder, she says, was meant to break their hearts the way hers was broken. Danica fights Stevie on the deck of the boat. Just as Stevie prepares to kill her, Ray arrives. He pleads with Stevie to stop, but she refuses and stabs Danica, throwing her overboard. Ray then shoots Stevie, sending her into the water. After Stevie is shot and falls into the water, Ava calls Julie to tell her the killer has been revealed. But Julie realizes something disturbing. Stevie could not have acted alone. Back in Southport, Ava goes with Ray to his bar. While there, she notices a wound on his back in the exact spot where she had slashed the killer during the attack at the Bayside house. Realization strikes. Ray has been working with Stevie. Ray locks the doors, trapping Ava. He admits the truth. He and Stevie planned everything together. He explains that the town tried to erase what happened in 1997, burying the tragedy of their friends' deaths. When Stevie told him about last summer, he saw an opportunity for revenge, not only for her loss, but for his own pain. Ray reveals that Stevie's apparent death was staged, and she is still alive. He intends to frame Julie for all the murders, claiming she never recovered from 1997 and snap. Ray then attacks Ava with a knife. She fights back, smashing objects to escape, but he overpowers her. At that moment, Julie arrives. She finds Ava injured and Ray waits. He confronts Julie, accusing her of betraying him decades ago by moving on. Julie tries to reason with him, telling him no one cares anymore and that the past should be let go. But Ray refuses. As he prepares to kill her, a fishing hook pierces through his chest. Behind him stands Ava, barely able to hold the weapon. Ray collapses to his death. In the chaos that follows, Ava collapses from exhaustion and her injuries. Julie rushes to her side, helping her. Moments later, Danica washes ashore. Though wounded from Stevie's attack, she has survived. The friends are taken to the hospital, where they recover together. Days later, Ava and Danica sit quietly on the beach, sharing food and reflecting on everything that has happened. Though relieved to be alive, they are haunted by the knowledge that Stevie is still out there. Ava tells Danica that Ray admitted Stevie survived and only faked her death. Danica's expression hardens. She tells Ava they will have to find Stevie themselves and end it once and for all. The story closes on this chilling note, leaving the cycle of revenge unresolved.